Hello guys, my name is Cam and I'm here to present you my mid-tier list for Titans Divinity League Summer Split 2023. Before we jump into action, let me explain my metrics to justify the tiers for every player here. I divide mid laners in 4 categories. We got Category 1, Carry, Aggressive, Duelist, Assassins. Category 2, Carry, Supportive, Scaling, Contra Mages. Category 3, Playmakers. Category 4, Supportive Tanks. I'll be using these categories to rate the mid laners on this video, and every player will receive like a grade based on how they played, what champion they picked. Category 1 are for players that excel heavily on 1v1s, 2v1s, and look for highlights, right? Because they're confident in their mechanical skills. Category 2 are for players that primarily pick scaling carry champs. They don't coin flip 1v1s until they know their spikes, they know their damage, and they support their team on team fights until they have those big power spikes, 2-3 items. Playmakers are players that excel in making plays, getting advantage through the map, winning team fights with a combo. And category 4, supportive tank, are players that take a different role in mid. They play to set up their teammates and enable a carry, top, jungle, or they just provide extra help for their AD carry on the hyperscaling. In this regular season, we had about 37 players playing in the mid lane. However, for this video, we will only list 10 players and we'll have honorable mention to a few others. There were a lot of changes in the split. Some people retired, some people changed in the last couple weeks, so we're trying to account for everyone. Chef from Syndicate. Chef is an all-rounder, great and consistent player. He has showed some great power picks with Annie, Lissandra, and Swain. He's one of the reasons why Syndicate is a strong team, and he's one of the leaders of that team. If Syndicate is in a tough spot, you can be assured that Chef will find a way to win. He has showed a good amount of aggressive carry mids mixed with great playmaking abilities. He has abused a lot of flanks, fog of war, and surprising flash ults as well to win team fights. He also has many picks that can play carry, supportive playstyle where he can buy time for his team while doing damage. Number 2, Dr. Shroud, Conduit Esports Coalition. One of my favorite players in the league, Shroud is one of the best aggressive carry style players in mid lane this split. He has showed great skills on Akali and Auction. His synergy with his jungler, Glada, is great, and they make an awesome 2v2. He is very confident on his mechanical skills and always taking 1v1 plays, even sometimes doing 2v1s. He is also an impressive playmaker, and most of the time his aggressiveness and plays are paying off. He is the biggest reason why Coalition is coming in hot for playoffs. However, he's yet to have a consistent carry on a control mage. So things could be shaky if Coalition gets target ban on the mid lane. Cryosthesia, Cape Dogs. Cryo has been nothing but awesome this split. This is a super aggressive player and great playmaker. He has a lot of picks in which he delivered Irelia, Auction, Swain, and Yone. Cryo is CDU's major strength, and if he gets ahead, he will transfer his lead over to his team. If CDU wants to win, Cryo is a major win con on their team. The only thing missing on his arsenal is a more supportive style mid laner or mid that can buy time for his team to win team fights. Chinese Spy, Conduit Esports Fever. Chinese Spy or Domination. What should I call him? Most of his matches are domination of the lane through and through. CS, solo kills, health advantage, you name it. He gets ahead and he takes over the mid lane. Well, at least in most cases. If he can't implement his own style, things start to turn a bit and his impact on the game is reduced. His best picks for me are Victor, Ari, and Syndra. He's a very intelligent player and plays very well with his jungler Newt. He loves his control mage champs, but he is yet to show a good AD pick mid or a more supportive champion in the mid lane. If Chinese Spy can get to the late game, he is a major threat and should and deserves your attention. ET Cam Eclipsing Tides. How could I not put myself here? My stats in Titans Divinity League isn't the greatest after week 5 and week 6 forfeit. However, I bring more to ET uh, than what my stats show. So don't count me out just yet. I'm putting myself here because of the versatility that I bring to our team. I play support and tanks when needed. I can also play carries and be aggressive or more supportive carry as well, depending on our composition. So don't count me out just yet and be on the lookout for Cam. EDN Major, Eden's Snapdragons. I'm a major fan, and I have said this in our podcast many, many times. I think this version of Major is indeed better than last split. He went from an aggressive player with aggressive picks to a more tactical mid laner. He still brings his playmaking abilities, his AD carries from time to time, but he also enables his team. His power picks are Seraphine, Annie, and Zeri. This style of Major is definitely stronger, as make his whole team stronger and more cohesive. Kobita, Purple Sprouts. Kobita is a very strong laner and he has adopted the pro play tank mid meta. He shoves his lane and makes plays with his jungler to set up his team for success. He has played this regular split with a lot of playmaking champions like the Nautilus, Cannon, and Gragas. He he has excelled on Nautilus and Gragas, specifically on the standard control mage pool. He has Orianna and Syndra as the power picks. Whenever facing Sprouts, be on the lookout for him. He will bring an unconventional mid laner and find a way to do very well, especially helping Custer get a lead. Bally Optazah. Bally started as an AD carry for Optazah and later swapped with Project Crisis. Crisis was in this list, but Bally has made a huge difference on this roster. Abdazab made an incredible run to playoffs and he has put some solid performances. His best games were on Aurelion Sol and Anivia on week 5, and his weakest performance was on Silas. Bali has ranked out of Divinity League as he achieved Plat 2, and we will no longer see him. However, he made an awesome impact in this league. Leshadie, Team Scooter Ankle. Leshadie is a solid laner and is not afraid to bring different picks. If you're not ready, you will find yourself in a non-conventional matchup. His power picks are Victor and Annie, but he will definitely bring, Anivia, Ziggs, or something like that. In my eyes, Leshadie is a supportive mid laner. He doesn't show the same aggressiveness or dominance in lane as other players. However, he assists his team in setting up plays or being your constant damage dealer mid to late game. Merciful Crow going Ghost Heist. Crow is a good laner and player, but there's a lot that she can improve on. Her laning is usually very safe, even when she's playing on her main picks, on Zoe, Ari, and Syndra. She also enjoys scaling mage like Asol, and she can put out a lot of damage mid to late game when her team is online. If her team is behind or even, she may find it difficult to put on a good performance. If she improves on some fundamentals, she can definitely do much more and get higher on a future list. I do think she has potential to become an A-tier mid laner. Honorable mentions. This section is for all players that have less than 7 matches in the league. First one is Svar from Dynasty Obsidian. Original mid laner from Dino, played 5 matches before announcing his retirement, showed a diverse number of picks, and played a tanky supportive style for the team. He set up many plays with Malphite, Swain, Lissandra, Annie, Ornn. If he continued to play, I would imagine he would be an A-tier player. Even post-retirement, he sits at top 6 in stats. That tells a lot. Reboot Van, Dorado Gaming side. Reboot Van is a very good player with very good lane fundamentals. He did not have a lot of games in, but he was able to make an impact on a very solid roster for Dorado. With more games on his belt, I could imagine he would be higher in rankings. I need to see more games of him in playoffs to see where he would fit in this ranking. Currently, with 5 matches recorded in top 5 in stats, I see him as a solid B tier, but has potential for an A tier without a doubt. Dunjo 27, Dorado Gaming side. Original mid laner from Dorado Gaming side. He had ups and downs in a few first matches, but was a consistent laner overall. His power pick was definitely the victor, but he was getting punished quite a bit in lane. I don't know the details why he left Dorado, but he left with good and bad stats. Uh, Good ones are number 10th in stats overall, second in CS per minute, second in go share, and first in Q participation. However, the bad stats are low number in kills, low damage per minute, and no solo kills. So to me, Tanjiro is far from a Demon Slayer and more of a Team Slayer. He would have been on my C tier and maybe a low B tier. Kazuha Nakamura, Dynasty Obsidian. Added to substitute Svar, Nakamura had a dashing and stylish debut in Titans, taking Akali and destroying the very existence of Coalition on week 4. I believe Shroud still dreams about her, in a bad way. The matchups she played aren't the best for CSing outside the COG on G2 against the DK. However, her overall stats aren't necessarily great or bad, so it's hard to place her anywhere yet. She seems to be an extremely aggressive and playmaker player if she's given the tools like Akali and Sylas. We need more samples to know how good she is. Her CS per minute, damage share, and gold share are quite low, but she has a good number of solo kills and low number of deaths in 4 games. I imagine Nakamura as an A tier player that has potential to become an S tier mid laner, considering her aggressiveness and her ability to take resources improve. Randleman Team Ambition Square Squad. Added to be a sub and later take over the mid lane for Taz, Randleman has put on good performances overall. He has good performance against Syndicate and CBP on week 6 and 4 respectively. Against CBP there were some bad calls on the Pantheon versus Zad matchup, but still did pretty well on the game. He was able to bring the Nautilus mid where the whole Taz team smacked CBP in the fastest win of the regular season. So considering the honorable mentions and the players that I've mentioned before, my final list would look like this, given we had more samples. Number 1, Chef. Number 2, Dr. Shroud. Number 3, Cryosthesia. Number 4, Chinese Spy. Number 5, Kazuha Nakamura. Number 6, ET Cam. Number 7, Svar. Number 8, EDN Major. Number 9, Kobita. Number 10, Reboot Van. Number 11, Bally. Number 12, Randleman. Number 13, Leshadie. Number 14, Tanjiro. Number 15, Merciful Crow. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.